Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here for a Friday night. And it's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday, something for the weekend. But your Friday Night Delight, video number 2 on your Friday night, January the 30th, 2026. Thank you all for watching this particular video on the home of all things ranting, the very motherfucking legendary G Rants channel. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below, on this channel and my other channels as well. Show you love and support. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my past videos now or in the future. Conan, all my videos from now and in the future as well. Don't leave stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely, and then Ozzy and Satan will eat your fucking soul. So go do it on your garbage channel that nobody really gives two flying fucks about. Just not gonna do it here. You don't like it? Tough shit. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you miss anything, well, it's your loss. And your SOL, you know what that means. If you don't know what it means, tough shit. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. Pepsi, as always. Because you can't prove it's not. And that's pretty much it. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, too bad. Don't watch my videos, but you will because you have no life. And that's that. But people actually watch my videos, so it is what it is. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, check out my last video, my tribute to Catherine O'Hara, who passed away today at the age of 71 due to a brief illness. So link to that down below in the description box. Also, I put up a little bitty short about Ava Raine leaving NXT and WWE. She's not renewing her contract, so she is leaving WWE as of today, and she will no longer be the NXT GM. So I give my thoughts about that. That link will be down below as well in the gobbledygook on my Peter Joseph channel. And that's pretty much it. So I'm spreading the wealth, if you will, over the next couple of days on my respective channels. So please hit that bell on all of them, because if you miss anything, too bad for you. Alright, on your Friday night, January the 30th, 2026, we got the US feed of SmackDown earlier today from Saudi Arabia, which wasn't a great show if you didn't have a VPN. You get to see this garbage, but if you had a VPN, you know what I'm talking about. But, so for you people that haven't seen it yet and don't really want to know the spoilers, you can get to watch it. But I'll do the video probably later tonight or early tomorrow and do my predictions video for the Royal Rumble. And then got a lot of videos coming down the pipe. So please hit that bell and don't miss anything. Because you miss it, you missed it. And that's that. But anyway, check those videos out. Links are down below in the gobbledygook. And that's that. Alright, hope you had a great day. And if not, too bad for you. I hope you have a great weekend. Final couple days of January and begin the short month of February on Sunday. Thankfully, we're not getting that bomb cyclone. Maybe we get an inch. They said south and east of New York City is going to get about an inch of snow. I don't think we're going to get anything in my neck of the woods except for a lot of wind and cold. This is not going to even break 30, 32 for the next month or so. And we're getting more storms on the horizon. One maybe next weekend, and maybe going into Valentine's Day weekend, and going to Valentine's and President's Day weekend. Not good, not fun, and yeah, January, end of this month, and February can fuck off, and winter can fuck off too. 51 days till spring, my friends. 51, so about a little under 2 months before we actually get some warmer weather around these, my neck of the woods, and wherever you may be as well. But just take it each day and just bundle up if you're here in the Northeast and wherever else you are. Even down south in Florida, getting 30-something degree weather at night. Not so much the daytime, the nighttime is going to be insane. Which is rare for Florida. even south, even all the way down to Miami. They're getting around 40, 50-degree weather at night. It's unheard of, but it is what it is. Alright, after 5 minutes of spiel, ladies and gentlemen, I really have to rant about this. Now, earlier today, on the great podcast of the great man himself, Pat Mcafee, which I'm subscribed to and you should too, he had our tribal chief put up your fucking ones and acknowledge him and acknowledge the prophecy as well. Roman Reigns was on the show talking about the Royal Rumble and a couple of topics. But besides taking time off, he's 40 years old with and he's saying all the tech and the information we have now, like AI and all this, which sucks by the way, and all the other stuff. He says, I feel like I'm 25 years old, so I'm still good to go. So he has some fuel in the tank, if you will, but, he's doing other things like movies. He was in Street Fighter as Akuma. He's got maybe some movies down the pipe this year, maybe going into next year. Who knows what's going to happen, but he will be back in the ring tomorrow afternoon at the Royal Rumble. Possibly could win it. Between him and Braun right now, I don't know. Maybe Sammy is out as a long shot, but I think everybody and their mom are picking Roman to win. So we'll see what happens with that as we go to tomorrow. All right. So it's been a rough couple of years for Roman. He says, but at the same time, when he come off such a hell of a run, like his 3.5, almost 4-year run as champ, which a lot of people did not like. Too bad for you. You gotta kind of just pump the brakes for a second. He's got 5 kids. Best, great man he is. He wears 2 important hats, one being a husband and a dad, and you gotta be able to click in, and he's been on the road for a long time, so he had to, step back from the ring a little bit, and be with his wife and kids, and do some other things besides, being on the road almost 300 and some odd days a year. So now he's on a part-time schedule. He comes and goes. There's a lot of people like, when are we going to see Roman again? When are we going to see Roman? Roman, was a part-timer. Even during his reign, everybody was like mad because he never defended a belt that much. I mean, if you don't like Roman, don't watch the guy. You didn't like his 3-year reign, why were you still watching? And complaining and bitching online like certain other YouTubers did. They knew who they are. I didn't complain, I was happy. 1,317 days as champ. Didn't care. I was hoping he'd break Hogan's record, but that didn't happen, of course, because of Cody! That bitch. But it is what it is. But the main thing I want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is what he said about WWE creative, and then that bald-headed bastard, fucking Maven, the irrelevant man that he is, Maven, goes on to criticize him about what he said. So I'll get to that. I don't have what Maven said, but, he criticized Roman's, creativity and, how WWE booked him and everything. I'll try to get the gist of, why he had a beef, per se, or, he opened his big mouth and inserted his foot. That's what he did. But anyway, this is what Roman said about, if WWE and SmackDown and Raw, basically WWE is still his show, when he comes back. And this is coming from the Pat McAfee show and also 411mania.com. And I will put the link down below. And he says, and I quote, I think, there's always a mindset of that, but to be completely honest and transparent here, 2 years ago, it all changed when he was champion, of course. When he lost the championship to Cody, that bitch. And what I've been doing out there hasn't been exactly the same of what I've done before. Yeah, mainly he comes back. I mean, after Mania, when he lost to Seth Rollins, turning on him, and Heyman turning on him and Punk, And then the night after Mania, he gets beat down by the Vision, presumably Bronson Reed and company and Braun Breaker. And then he came back to team. I believe he teamed with Jay, and they got beaten down. They were getting beaten down almost like every freaking week. And then he lost in Australia to Bronson Reed because it was his Bronson Reed's hometown. He lost. He got the Ulo Fala back, and then basically Bronson Reed kicked his ass, and then he was gone for a while. Comes back at Survivor Series War Games, and basically the Bloodline took care of, and Punk took care of the Vision. Actually, no, take that back. It was Punk, Roman, Cody, I think Jimmy and Jay against basically the Vision and Logan Paul and Seth Rollins, I believe, as well. No, Seth Rollins wasn't in the match, I think. I forget. But anyway, we know Austin Theory, what he did. He was the hooded man who stomped Punk, and then Bronson Reed speared him to hell and pinned him. And then we see at the end, Roman goes up to Cody and says, "This is the last time we'll ever team up again." And then he did that epic promo on Raw where he says, that title will look great around my shoulder once again. He didn't say which title. And I mean, Cody's like, "Oh, he was talking about you." It's like, "What do you mean by that?" And then Roman's like, "That's for you two to find out." So we're all speculating that he was going to get another match with Cody to finish the trilogy at Mania. That's not going to be the case now because Drew McIntyre has the title. So Roman could win the Royal Rumble and face Drew for the title, but you got Jacob Fatu and Cody going at it with Drew now for the title. So Roman wins. Does that become a fatal four-way? I mean, what happens now? And if Braun Breaker wins, where does Roman go from there? He doesn't really have a match at Mania, so the only way you can go for a title is if he wins the Elimination Chamber, which he may or may not even be at. So what would Roman even do at Mania? Who would he face? Because it wouldn't be the same without Roman at Mania in a main event. Well, it has to be in a main event because it's Roman, but anyway. So we'll get that. So anyway, to continue what Roman said, and what I've been doing out there hasn't been exactly the same as what I've done before, and the way I look at it is I'm a generous tribal chief. By the way, tribal chief. I give the people plenty of time. These young talent, get over, kids. Get over. So it's basically saying that Hunter and Creative, WWE Creative, which are not creative about being creative, absolutely, are pushing basically the same people. And he wants the kids like Javon Evans, like an Oba Femi and Trick Willie and Ricky Starks, people like that, to get over even in NXT. And, we got that. So he goes on to say, and we're 2 years here now. We haven't advanced. We haven't evolved. I mean, they're not pushing these young stars. That's what Roman's basically saying. They're not pushing anybody. And it's basically rinse and repeat. Have you noticed how bad Raw and SmackDown have been the last couple months? Even today, I know it was a go-home show. I know it was Saudi Arabia, but still, you put on that? That was garbage tonight, earlier today. It was so fucking mid. It was boring at times. Like, why are we watching this shit? I mean, yeah, Raw was okay when you had, this past Monday, it was great. We had AJ and Punk for the title, even though Finn ruined it. And the week before, Finn and Punk was a great match. And then you had AJ and Walter, even though with the shit ending there. But the rest of the show felt eh. Even on SmackDown, too, it felt eh. Even though the ratings went up a little bit, but not much, but notice how AEW has been progressively kind of going up a little bit. I mean, this week alone, 653,000 views. I don't think they beat out NXT. We're very close. And Raw, globally, was number 9. 9. Oh, that's great, they're in the top 10, but number 9? But, like I said, I agree with Roman. Like, yeah, how can I not agree with Roman? Because creative is just bad. Hunter doesn't know what the hell he's doing. You got a schmuck like Brian James or the Road Dogg back as a booker or on the creative team. He can't book and do creative for shit. And then you got another guy that we saw on the Real. I don't even know his name. He's an African American. I'll be politically correct. He was an African American. Now he's in control. On creative for Raw and SmackDown. So, not doing so good, Al, but, and Roman, praised Nick Khan up the wazoo. He said, we have great leadership in Nick Khan. God bless him. What a businessman. He's a genius. Not like Tony Khan, but I digress. But you have to be able to keep up with that creativity, creatively. Excuse me. That's why people like me, people who are striving to be the very best, the greatest, the GOATs, the MJs, my Jordans, I just can't sit around and see mediocrity. Not when I set it up for everybody to just slam it home. I mean, we're on Netflix for crying out loud. You gotta capitalize. We have people playing around and trying to figure it out, and I got the formula. I know how to cook it up. So basically, the gist of that says, Roman is sitting at home, seeing all this garbage that Hunter is doing, and, he's like, and they're saying, oh, we need you back. Yeah, you need him back for the pop. He said that himself. He says, oh, they brought me back because of the pop I get. He gets massive pops because it's Roman. I mean, but you don't need to bring Roman back because your ratings fucking suck. Hunter, you need to book better. You need better fucking creative people. Not Ed Kosk, or whatever his name is, Ed Koski. You don't need that jerk off. You don't need Brian James, an old has-been. Okay? You need better people. I'm not putting my name in a hat, but I can do better creative and better booking than you and anybody combined. Even Tony Khan. Because I got ideas up the wazoo. And I don't need to if I was on creative, I don't need Roman to be the champ for like 5 years. That'd be nice, but, I don't need him. I want to build up the stars. This is the TNA problem. Remember how TNA was so big on the X Division, and then when Hogan and Bischoff came in, down the drain? They didn't want to push the X Division. They didn't want to push the Knockouts Division that much. They wanted to have old fossil Hulk Hogan and people like Nash and Scott Hall and X-Pac to run the company. It felt like WCW all over again after it died. Hogan wanted to relive, he wanted to relive WCW circa 1996 to 1998, early 99, when it started going downhill. That's what Hogan wanted, and he almost put TNA out of business. Well, really, it was Dixie Carter and believing in Hogan, and TNA was just so bad from when Hogan and Bischoff came in. Yeah, they got 1 million views on that Monday show, great, but got swallowed up by Raw anyway. And then after that, downhill. That's all it went. Even when Jeff Hardy made his came back that night. This is the TNA problem that WWE's having right now. They're not pushing big stars. They're not pushing the young stars like a Javon Evans, or Trick Willie, or I hate saying it, but Mello. Mello, yeah, he's the U.S. champ. He's putting on bangers, except for today when he faced Ray Phoenix. But that's another story for another time. But they're bringing it up all these NXT stars. They start pushing them a little bit, and then that's it. Their push goes bye-bye. Julia, and so many others that have come up. Start off with a nice little push, down the drain to go. Stephanie Vercour, anyone? I fear for Oba right now. I fear for Trick Willie. I fear for Ricky Starks, Tony D'Angelo, maybe JC Jane. Whoever else comes up from NXT that was a big star down there. So Ruka, maybe Delta down the line, Roxanne Perez. You know, all they want to do is push Punk, push Cody, because they're their quarterbacks, per se. And the matches, yeah, some of the matches are good, I'll give them that. But the shows are so boring. And I think SmackDown going to 3 hours was a mistake. I really think it's a mistake going back to 3 hours. I know you want to put all your talent on the show. I get it. But the storylines are just so bad. They have to recycle fucking storylines from like the 90s. Some for the Attitude Era, some for the Ruthless Aggression Era. You can't do that. With certain wrestlers, you cannot do that. We have to build new storylines and new angles and shit like that. So Roman is right. There is no creative. You're pushing, you need Roman to come back, get a big pop, have a big match at the Rumble, or give him the title back. He has it for like 2 more years. I know people are gonna get mad. I personally don't give a fuck. And they'll be like, oh, it's the same people winning the matches. Pushing Charlotte down our throat. Pushing these people down our throat. I mean, give us somebody new. I get it. Yeah, they put Julia and Kiana James to get the next shot at Rami Rhea Ripley and Io. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw Otis and Ozawa getting a shot at the Usos for the Raw Tag Team titles. Nobody saw that coming. That's new. That's fresh. Okay, fine. But Julia's second run as U.S. champ is getting boring again. Who is she going to face that's credible? We're going to put her against Chelsea Green. We're going to put her against Alba Fire. Give us something good. Have Julia face Jordynne Grace. I know it might be a mismatch, but still. And then give Stephanie McCoy. Let Stephanie McCoy, yeah, she's going to face Raquel Rodriguez eventually and maybe lose a title, maybe keep it. I don't know, but you got to give Stephanie, some challenges. Even the mid-card titles. Becky's going to eventually face AJ Lee at Mania, probably at Mania for the Women's Intercontinental Belt. Lose it to AJ, but then AJ's going to lose it because she's a part-timer. She's going to hold that belt for long. I don't think she hold it past 2-3 months. Dominic Guerrero, a great Dominic Guerrero, I say, he's held the Intercontinental title, and I know he's injured right now. What do you do with him when he comes back? Do you still go with him and Ray at Mania? Whether it be a mask versus hair match or just for the Intercontinental title so Ray can win it at Mania again like he won a couple years ago when they had Ray versus Dom and Ray won. I would have Dom beat Ray. It'd be easy. Ray doesn't need another title. He doesn't. But that's that. But I get it. I get where Roman's coming from. Now, what Maven says, he says, oh, this is wrong, He criticized Roman because of Roman holding the belt for 3.5 years. Maven, shut the fuck up, you bald-headed bastard. You're just bitter because your WWE career is so fucking irrelevant. Like your YouTube channel, irrelevant. I know my channel is I have 777 subs. Okay, that's fine. I'm building something. But you, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion as well. But, you cannot criticize Roman's 3-year reign. I know a lot of people did not like it. And, you in particular didn't like it. There's others on YouTube and social media that didn't like it. And I always say, if you don't like it, do not watch it. But you're going to watch it anyway because you got nothing else to watch. And you're still going to watch wrestling Monday through Sunday. I watch it because I'm a fan. There's things I don't like, and I will rant about it. I don't have to watch a William Yuta match because it's boring. I don't have to watch Darby, I don't have to watch a Darby match unless it's like a violent match. Maybe I'll watch it, but because I like violence and shit like that. But anyway, But yeah, Darby's matches are sometimes boring. His one-on-one matches without violence is like, and he's a maniac anyway. And then Orange Cassidy is just boring himself, but I turn it off. I don't even look at it. I'm just like playing my phone. I'm looking up stuff on social media, whatever. I'm eating, whatever I'm doing. I don't even watch those matches. If I don't like a wrestler, I'm not gonna come out and say, "Oh, you suck," this and that. I'm just like, he's boring. If I do my review, I critique Orange Cassidy match. I'm like, yeah, he won, big fucking whoop. I mean, I don't hate them. I respect them, what they do for the business. The character just bores the fuck out of me. And yeah, I hated Roman when he was getting rammed down our throat. Pretty much, And I said what I said back then, wishing death on his character, not the man himself. And I apologized, to the fans and WWE and everything. And everything was smooth over. And now I love Roman, not because of certain other people that love Roman on this website. But, if I don't like a wrestler, I give him and I start liking him again, I'm giving him a second chance. Like John Cena. There's certain other wrestlers that I really don't like, but, now they turn heel, they turn face. I'm like, okay, I'll give him a chance to see how this goes. But yeah, Maven, just shut up, man. I mean, shut up. Everybody is so... I know, like I said, you have your own opinion. That's one thing. But criticizing Roman for, and saying what you said and everything. Like I said, I don't have what he said on paper, but he has criticized Roman for his title reign and the booking of Roman, and everything like that. But let me see if I can find that again. I may be able to find, some things that Maven has said. I know he had some comments about Roman. Yeah. I mean, he spoke highly of Roman, but there's a few things that, he, acknowledged the immense pressure of being at the top, during his Tribal Chief era. He mentioned the Tribal Chief run as being awesome, not like Mike Awesome, but, like that. I think that's all that's all the things he said. I think he. I know he disagreed. Alright, this is, he said that, he expressed frustration that the current heavily produced WWE product, which features stars like Roman Reigns, differs significantly from his era. Well, yeah, the Attitude Era was great. This era, not so good. But, Maven has said he doesn't even watch WWE at times. So... I know, he just, there's a story that just came out 2 hours ago, with Maven. Maven explains why YouTube's success in wrestling isn't as simple as it seems. Well, yeah, obviously. Maven's trying to get his channel going. I understand that. Like my channel, I'm trying to get it going. Even though I've been here for 16 fucking years, but... But, yeah, I don't really have the story of him criticizing Roman for what he said on the Pat McAfee show. But I do have what Roman said. So, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to see if I can find at least maybe something. Because I heard about this on Facebook from one of my somebody put up something like Maven needs to shut up because of what Roman said about creativity. Like I said, Maven's jealous that Roman held a belt for 3.5 years and not something that he never did because his career was pretty much irrelevant. I mean, the only thing Maven was good for was his highlight was dropkicking The Undertaker out of the Royal Rumble. That was his highlight, and then he pretty much got destroyed by The Undertaker. I think he held the hardcore title maybe once or twice, but that didn't really matter. Tough enough winner, big freaking whoop. But yeah, his career is like, nobody really cares about his career back then, it was just there. Like, this one moment, drop kicking The Undertaker over the top rope and everything, and then pretty much getting his ass handed to him. And then he tried it the next year, failed miserably, and Undertaker's like, whoop, throw you out, good night. And then pretty much Maven's career went bye-bye. And now he's trying to kind of resurrect his career on YouTube. Good luck with that, but... So, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Alright, SmackDown, actually, like, US feed of SmackDown's on right now. Oh, I'm hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong channel, not the button. Channel. Alright, we're just going to recap right now. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So leave me your thoughts and opinions down below. What do you guys think about Maven and, what he said about Roman? If I do find the article, or you can just go on the Pat McAfee show and go to his YouTube. He has the whole show up from today on his channel. You might have to search where Roman shows up on the show, or you just search Roman Reigns on Pat McAfee show. You find what he said about creative and about a few other things, so you get the gist of what my rant was about. So that's that. And that's pretty much it. That's all I gotta say about that. So yeah, Maven, shut your mouth and acknowledge your tribal chief. Okay? That's it. Roman's right. Roman is right. WWE Creative is being uncreative about being creative. I mean, absolutely. They gotta push the kids. I mean, the young stars like a JC Jane when she comes up, they just can't push the same fucking people and rotate. They can't do that. They're gonna fall into the TNA problem, where they push the old timers and then the up and comers are just getting lost in the shuffle. And then what do you have? People not watching the show. And that's pretty much it. So leave me your thoughts down below, and like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to go watch SmackDown, have my sensible dinner, and go from there. And I might come back later with your TNA review, right, over on my Killer Demons channel. But check out my videos, my Catherine O'Hara tribute on my Metal Guard channel, and my little short about Ava Raine leaving WWE. And that's pretty much it. The stage, by the way, for SmackDown in Saudi Arabia was just, long as fuck ramp, though. I didn't like that. So, I get it because you gotta have people come out down the ramp and running to the ring. Or walking very slowly down to the ring and everything. But, gotta give Saudi Arabia, the people of Saudi Arabia who built the stadium in about a month. They did a hell of a job with that stage. And they did a hell of a job building the stadium. The Riyadh Season Stadium, which I think is a stupid name. Speaking of stupid, Cody's on now. Whoa, no! Almost said whoa. Oh, you didn't hear that. But anyway, yeah. No! So Cody's gonna say, hey, talk about it. Makes me want to vomit. Uncontrollably vomit. Yeah, punch yourself in the head and, bop your teeth out. You piece of crap. Anyway, we got a big brawl at the end of the episode. So there's a little spoiler alert for that. Mello and Ray Phoenix for the U.S. title and in the U.S. title Open Challenge. Not a great match per se, but we got that. Maggle Cole and Bad News Wade Barrett on the call for SmackDown. I think they'll be on tomorrow as well. Tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 11 a.m. Pacific Time. So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, but like I said, the stage looks great for for the SmackDown and the Royal Rumble. But Monday night, Raw is going to be back in Philly. SmackDown will be back at its normal time next Friday at 8 p.m. on the USA Network. From they're going to be in Carolina. I don't remember where. I think it's Greensboro or Charlotte. So going to be in North Carolina. Who's getting hit with a bomb cyclone this weekend and getting a lot of snow. Hopefully, nothing bad happens next weekend, so SmackDown doesn't get canceled, and who knows what's going to happen next weekend. But we got that. And then, the Friday the 13th episode of SmackDown, and the following week will be on Sci-Fi because the Olympics are coming up on the USA Network, so SmackDown will be preempted to Sci-Fi, which won't get great ratings, but that's coming up in 3 weeks from tonight. SmackDown. Actually, like I said, next week will be on USA Network. 2 weeks after, the week after that, and the week after that will be on Sci-Fi. And the night before the Elimination Chamber, SmackDown will be back on the USA Network. And pretty much going forward, I don't think we have any London shows or any overseas shows. I think maybe until summertime. But we'll see what happens with that. Now we're going to have to hear Cody. I'm going to go take a shit. So, thanks for watching, guys. Leave me your thoughts down below about Roman Reigns. Speaking about WWE creativity. And Maven, shut the fuck up. That's pretty much it. So, leave me your thoughts down below, and that's it. But I will put the link to what Roman said about WWE creative and taking some time off down below. And like I said, if I find what Maven said about Roman's comments on the Pat McAfee show, I will also put the link either in the comments or in the description box, if I can find it. If not, it's just coming off the top of my dome. But it is what it is. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll be back later with video number 3, your TNA review for TNA on Impact, episode number 3. And then maybe call it a night after that. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.